Hi everyone, welcome to Takadimi Tuesdays. My name is Charu Hariharan and I'm here to be sharing with you all a very beautiful and a simple concept in mathematics and how it can be applied in building compositions. And specifically, I would be dealing with a composition here in Mishra Chaputala, which is a cycle of 7 beats. So let's go to the concept directly. It is related to odd numbers. So if you take any odd number, be it of a small or a big value, add all the numbers including the number of your choice until 1. You will get a sum. If you see, the sum will be divisible by the number of your choice. Let's demonstrate that with an example. Let's take the number 5. 5 is an odd number. Let's add all the numbers from 5 to 1. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 equal to 15, and 15 is divisible by 5. Let's consider a bigger number, let's say 11. So add all the numbers from 11 to 1. Your total will be 66 and it is divisible by 11. The reason why I'm sharing this particular piece of math with you is that it helps you develop compositions in odd time signatures. Let's say you have a time signature which is 11-2 or 11-8 or 11-4 or 11-16. You will have this beautiful tip to work on to develop compositions. I personally would like to share a composition in Mishra Chapu which is based on this concept. So Mishra Chapu, as you know, is a cycle of 7 beats. It is divided into sections of 3 and 4, which is ta, ki, ta, ka, di, mi. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the second speed, Mishra Chapu will not be 7 beats but 14 beats instead. And it can be recited like this. Takkita takka dimmi, takkita takka dimmi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go back to the math that we were working in earlier and let's write all the numbers of Mishra Chapu in the sequence of what we discussed. So which is 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. The total comes to 28. Now let's see why this phenomenon exists. Let's keep the 7 aside and look at the entire pattern and look at the extremes of the sequence that we have written. So 6 plus 1 adds up to 7. 5 plus 2 adds up to 7. 4 plus 3 adds up to 7. So this is the concept that will be applicable to all the numbers, all the odd numbers specifically, until however big the number you can imagine. So for the current composition in Mishra Chapu, there is a reason why we specifically chose Mishra Chapu here. So as we discussed, the first speed of Mishra Chapu is 7 beats and the second speed is 14 beats. So now if you look at the total, which is 28, it is a number that's divisible by 7 as well as by 14 as well as by 28, which means that we can build a composition that will work in the first speed, will work in the second speed as well as will work in the third speed. Usually Mishra Chapu is performed in the second speed and hence we will be working on a composition in second speed. Let's say we are going to recite the entire sequence of numbers from 7 to 1 in the second speed and see whether it comes to the first beat or not. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And if I'm using spaces instead of using just numbers as it is. So by using spaces, I mean rests. So we have one syllable followed by 6 rests, which will give a total of 7. The next one syllable followed by 5 rests, which will give a total up to 6, and so forth, until when it reaches 1, I'm just using the syllable itself. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Here I've just used the syllable ta and I've followed it by spaces ranging from 6 to 0. Okay, so now how do we build a composition based on this concept? Let's take a phrase for 5, which is ta, di, gi, na, tum. So what I'm going to do is use the same concept as we just did before, using a syllable and the rests. Let's do the same with every syllable of ta, di, gi, na, tum. So ta will be followed by 6 rests, di by 6 rests, gi by 6 rests, na by 6 rests, and tum by 6 rests. The same it goes beneath. So with 5, 4, 3, 2 and until 1 where you're just going to recite ta, di, gi, na, tum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, di, gi, na, tum. Ta, di, gi, na, tum, ta, di, ki, na, tum, ta, di, ki, na, tum, ta, di, gi, na, tum, ta, di, gi, na, tum, ta, di, gi, na, tum. What we recited in itself can be a composition. It's a pretty simple one, but we are going to embellish the current composition by adding phrases between the spaces of 6 gaps and 5 gaps, then 5 and 4, 4 and 3, 3 and 2, 2 and 1. So we have 6 spaces where we can fill with syllables or phrases basically. So what phrases are we going to fill in with? We can add multiples of 7 because 7, 6 are 42 and 42 is divisible by 7 as well as by 14. So we are going to add 5, 5, 7, 7 and 9, 9. So the syllable that we are going to use for 5 is ta ti ta kitatum. For 7 is takka ta ti ta kitatum. And for 9 is takka di ku ta ti ta kitatum. So let's have a look at the composition. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. Ta ti ta kitatum. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. Ta ti ta kitatum. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. Taka ta ti ta kitatum. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. Taka ta ti ta kitatum. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. Taka ti ku ta ti ta kitatum. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. Taka ti ku ta ti ta kitatum. Ta, di, ki, ta, tum. So hope you all enjoy today's Takadimi Tuesday. The concept is simple and can be applied to various odd time signatures. All that you need to check is whether the total that you arrive at is divisible by the number and the double of that number if you need to work with the second speed. So thanking Berklee India Exchange again for this wonderful opportunity. Bye-bye.